Okay, we're on air. This is the OSRA Daily Scrum for, no, sorry, not daily, semi-daily, let's say, for Thursday, March 5th, 2015. Here we have Brian, Christian, and myself. And Brian, I guess you were just listening?
Probably.
Yeah. All right, so Christian, let's start with you.
Yeah, so since last week I added those sponsorships list to the sponsor show view.
All right.
The two tables at the bottom of the view.
Yeah.
So they are working well. I added the aspect test, but I was kind of lazy to add the integration test.
Yeah. Well.
Should I add them to this pull request or?
Well, I don't. If I was, I don't know. If we were doing everything by the book, then I would tell you that you should have written those first.
Yeah.
Actually, before I forget, and this is unrelated to your question, but there is some redundancy because I see that this OSRA 375 that was under sponsor must-have task display active and inactive sponsorships is essentially the same as 392. So since you've linked your PR to 392, I'm just going to go ahead and delete 375.
Okay.
So that it's not confusing people. Integration tests. I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I'm not sure how to approach this since we don't have integration tests for almost anything. So should we just create another task to create just all the integration tests?
You mean another task to create the integration test for this specific feature?
A big task, a big how is it called, issue, to add integration to everything.
Yeah. Well, we talked, I guess, a couple of times about integration tests, and in the beginning we thought that we didn't need them almost at all, except for kind of, at least not for basic CRUD. And then later we mentioned that maybe we should have just one single integration test that handles the CRUD for one particular model. We write it to be very high level and all the details are in the steps. But for something like this where it's, I think that this could fall into an integration test for sponsorships.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be something where you start with you start by creating a sponsorship and then expecting that it should be displayed, and then inactivating it and expecting that it should be displayed in the
but for the moment we don't have the creation of sponsorships because we don't have the orphans.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so in that sense, I would say that since we want the integration test to kind of work through the entire, at least through entire slices of functionality, then I guess let's hold off on it, but let's create a task so that we don't forget. And then, yeah, we will write a single integration test that will handle essentially all of sponsorship creation and inactivation.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. How does that sound to? Sounds like you're on board, Christian. What do you think, Brian?
I'm sorry, I was looking at something else.
All right. What's your opinion? Give me your one-sentence opinion of integration tests.
Minimize them. I think their usefulness is smaller than unit tests. That's my one sentence opinion.
Okay, cool. So, well, it sounds then, Christian, that what we were saying
Yeah.
seems about right. Okay. Anything else for you?
Not really, not at the moment. I don't have time to take anything new this week, but we'll talk about it Sunday and we'll see what I can do next.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I've been, I haven't done a lot of OSRA stuff in the last few days. I mentioned that we moved to a new home on Sunday, so but I've been pretty busy with everything regarding that. Basically, the only work that I have, so I had that client meeting on Sunday. It was very short, fortunately. But the main takeaway from it, as I posted on Confluence, is that our application essentially has attribute backwards. Because in the spreadsheets that they're sending us, the category is labeled as father is dead, and we are storing it in the database as father is alive. So basically everything is completely flipped. So I think when I have more time, and I hope I will, maybe as early as tomorrow, that is something that I'll start working on first. Because that's obviously something that needs to be locked down pretty quickly. And in the meantime, what I have had time to do was that refactoring that Christian, you and I talked about replacing or all the statuses and sponsorship statuses with enums in the models. And I pretty much have that done for the orphan. So orphan status and orphan sponsorship status. I replaced them with enum attributes on the model itself. So I haven't done it yet, but I think we will essentially be able to delete the entire class of orphan status and orphan sponsorship status and everything related to them. So in the end, going to be less code in the application, which is, I think, always a win. And I think that's about it for me.
How about the service object?
Well, yeah, that was something that I wanted to talk about. Is that sorry? Are you referring to the things that I've created already?
Yes.
Yeah.
We should merge them if we decide to merge them because
Yeah.
we already have too many pull requests.
Yeah. So basically, looking at our pull requests, I think 325, 331, 337, 340 are ready to go and can be merged in. I haven't looked at 341, 342 yet. These are the two last ones from you and Gabrielle. And
I looked over them, didn't I?
yeah.
I usually leave a thumbs up if I look over.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I should be able to take a hopefully fairly quick look, and everything should be fine there. And then we have Brian's pull request from February 1st.
Oh my.
About user index pagination.
I thought I had cleared all those out. I guess I forgot one.
I think there are, the last time I looked at it, there were some comments. Or questions. Or both.
You know what? I was just looking at that on your screen. I think I fixed that. Did I just not upload it?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I've got the wrong virtual machine running right now. It'll take me a few minutes to switch over. I'll check that,
Yeah.
and if
Well,
I did fix it, I'll update that.
And
okay.
rebase it.
Oh no, it shouldn't need to rebase. It's pretty new.
If we want to,
It's only been a month.
uh,
Well, the sad part is that that's not as much of a joke as you think it is, because our activity has really slowed down lately.
mhm.
But
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Do you know what phase the client wants credit card transactions added in?
um, I
I
don't
know I
know.
just jumped ahead a light year
Yeah, something like that. So if we're now in phase one, we're probably talking about phase 10.
because I've been dealing with those lately, and I was I would be very interested to do that kind of stuff with this team and see how that goes.
Yeah. Uh, well, we
I
haven't
thought it
even.
was pretty far in the future though. So
It is. Yeah. I think that the whole idea of public-facing pages or public-facing separate site is like a glimmer in their eye at this point. Nothing more. Um, so yeah, not anytime soon, I guess is the short answer. Okay. Um, one other thing that I wanted to mention is that, especially given our current pace of development, I think the Scrum model is probably not something that is particularly useful to us, especially this idea of time-boxed sprints, where in 2 weeks, if there's basically the three of us working as actively as we can, which isn't as active as we used to be, then in 2 weeks we might not be able to accomplish all that much. And rather than start making sprints 3 or 4 weeks long, I think that maybe we should just kill them completely for at least for now, and switch to more of a Kanban model with just sort of continuous improvement.
So it will be sprint 11 forever.
I think there just won't be any sprint period.
Oh,
So we'll close this sprint, and then instead of opening a new one, we will switch to
uh-huh.
Kanban from Scrum. And as I understand it, when we're on Kanban, there's no such thing as a sprint. We just keep working. Just whatever's next on the priority list, you take that, you work on it, you push it through from in progress to accepted, and then you start working on something else, and you just keep going like that. Kind of continuous cycle. There is no, um, no 2 week objectives or anything like that.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
That's better.
So maybe then, I don't know when. Maybe tonight is not the best time, but maybe next week. I mean, this sprint has gone too long already. We should close it, but maybe either on Sunday or whenever our next scrum after that would be on Tuesday. Maybe we can close it and then see how we can reconfigure Jira so that we don't have sprints. All right, guys. Anything else to talk about?
Well, not from me.
Yeah.
Any
not right
progress
now.
from Christopher?
Sorry, say it again.
Any progress from Christopher? Is he still working on this?
I haven't heard anything, and suspect that he hasn't done anything.
Oh, and I saw that a new guy or two new guys are coming on the project.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Academy.
Yeah, so one of them was. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, are you on a Mac? It looks like you are.
Yeah.
One person was asking about getting Phantom JS working, but I don't know Mac, so you might want to look at him.
Yeah, I would have to dig through my memory.
Well, isn't there a on Mac? Isn't there Bower or something like that? How is it called?
Well, there's Homebrew that should be able to install, I think, just about everything that we need for OSRA. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, if he's still having problems and he says anything on Slack, I'll try to help, but I really don't remember how I set it up myself. I guess that's it. Oh yeah, Brian, I wanted to let you know that I sent an application to that job that you forwarded to me.
Oh, okay.
And
That's cool.
yeah, in the end, got a polite no, thank you.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the bad.
never mind.
Well, so it wasn't even no thank you. They said in the meantime they've decided to go with another developer. They found somebody. So
Do you know why?
no, there wasn't anything else. I feel like I was quite underqualified for the job, but I thought
Well,
it.
at least they bothered to tell you no. That's a luxury these days.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm discovering that.
Most Yeah, most of the time you apply and it's a black hole.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That's the
yeah,
last communication you ever get is your own.
that's right. And I know that in a traditional sort of I don't know HR universe you're supposed to that shows interest and whatever, but I don't want to deal with that kind of. I wouldn't want to work for people who deal with things like that. So yeah, I've sent an application. If I don't hear anything, then that's the end of it basically. Okay, guys. So if there's nothing else, client meeting at the regular time on Sunday, 20:30 UTC. Brian, if you would like to have a scrum on Saturday, please feel free.
I'm at the point where I don't know enough about what's going on to feel like I could or should run one at this point. Uh, Before, I would have had no problem with that.
Yeah, right.
But during the week, I'm not typically available around 20
Yeah,
UTC. That's kind of a bad time for me.
What time is it there now?
It's 14:21.
Oh, middle of the day.
and Sundays aren't good for you either.
Saturdays and Sundays are better,
Yeah,
especially, well, in UTC, I guess, basically all day. Probably not in the morning UTC, because
Yeah,
that would
well,
be really, really early here.
sure. But let's say for the client meeting on Sundays, um, if you
It's
can show up.
likely, yeah, the Saturdays and Sundays I'm far more available.
Okay.
Far more. It's just these weekdays that
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's why we decided to have scrums on Thursday, Tuesday, and Sunday, so Sunday can join everybody.
Oh, if you're gonna do it Sunday, I'll arrange my schedule to be there. Is that gonna happen every week
Yeah, every week at 20 UTC.
at 20? Okay,
Yeah.
that's way better for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds
Cool.
good. Would be good to have you back.
Yeah, I miss working on this a lot. You have no idea.
Hmm.
Mm.
Cool. Makes me feel good to hear that. All right. Okay, guys. So if anything comes up, keep in touch with Slack. And until Sunday, then.
Okay,
Okay.
All right. Take care.
cool. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.